Um, what are some effects that counseling has on teens and children?
So it varies from student to student, but for the most part, it can have a very positive effect on a lot of people who don't really get a chance to talk about their problems or to share kind of what they're going through in their lives. It could be a very positive effect. I think for a lot of students as well, they enjoy the ability to just have privacy when it comes to talking about private issues. So knowing that they can talk to somebody they can trust who's not going to go ahead and tell somebody else about what they're sharing, because for the most part, counseling therapy is confidential. And so going into it, I think it's really helpful for them to know that.
Why do you think counseling for kids at school is overlooked?
That's a really good question, actually.
And when I say kids, I mean like elementary, like school kids.
Right, like as students, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think for the most part, counseling services, there's a lot of stigma about getting services in general when it comes to your mental health. So I could see why they could be not necessarily overlooked, but maybe not seen as something that would be helpful or something that might be useful at first glance. But I do think that it's just when you're in a big high school, there's so many services. You have your academic counselor, you have your teachers, you have a lot of support and resources sometimes on campus that counseling, mental health can be seen as like low priority when the majority of the focus in the school environment is like your academics and your grades. And that's what takes priority over students' mental health sometimes. So I think that's one of the biggest issues when it comes to that.
Could counseling help children and teens academically?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. A lot of the times if a student or teen, right, they're struggling academically, most of the time it's not because they don't understand something or because they're having difficulties in the class and they just need extra support. A lot of times it's related to mental health. If a student feels really anxious in the class, if they're going through bullying, if they're going through problems at home, it can be hard to focus at school. If teachers are not responsive to a student's mental health, then it's going to be pretty difficult to expect the students to be academically motivated all the time.
How does getting help at an early age help when they're older?
Really good question. If you're able to seek help early on around your mental health, it becomes easier to ask for help in other areas of your life and to learn that it's normal to ask for help. And especially if you have positive counseling experiences early on in childhood, when you're older, you know what good help looks like, and so you know how to advocate for yourself. So if you're getting subpar support or counseling services, whatever support it may be, and you know that you deserve more as a consumer of these services, you can advocate for it and get it, most importantly.